Princess Vartan was in despair. The shining room of her space residence was covered in dark shadows, which only amplified her loneliness. She tried to hide her sadness, but in these empty moments when she was alone, she couldn't think of anything else but the events of the past few months. "Not a single alien wanted me," she muttered, looking at herself in the gleaming mirror. "I am the last of my kind, and still I am rejected." The peoples of the galaxy had their reasons. The warriors of Jara considered her too weak. The diplomats of Bura deemed her too much of a political liability. And the elite of Centera rejected her for her inappropriate existence. It seemed that her origin, her flaws, and her human side overshadowed everything else. Maybe I should just hide away, she thought. But then an unexpected visit occurred. Jack was an ordinary man from Earth who never imagined himself as anything special. When he was drawn into a galactic adventure, he didn't expect to change the galaxy. But here he was, on a deserted space station, with Princess Vartan, who was needed by no one. "Wow," whispered Jack, opening the doors to her room and seeing her. "What an incredible place. And you're the princess, right?" The princess looked at him as if she didn't quite realize his presence. Who could help her? She was tired of endless attempts to build relationships with other nations. "Yes, I am Princess Vartan," she said with a sad smile. "But it seems I am also the one no one cares about." Jack stepped closer. "This sounds like a real adventure," he said, sitting on the nearest chair, which looked like it was invented in the next century. "But you know what? I love humans. We may not be perfect, but we have our strengths. And are you sure you want to stay here?" The princess was surprised by his frankness. "You should know that the galaxy has rejected me. Not a single alien wants me. I am a political burden." "Well, those aren't the best conditions," Jack laughed. "But hey, I'm human and we love challenges. If you ask me, this is exactly what I need, a princess who doesn't give up." She stared at him with disbelief. "You would accept me despite all this rejection and misunderstanding? Why would I reject you? You're a princess. You have something to offer the world. Maybe you're different from others, but that makes you unique, and that makes you important." The princess didn't know how to respond. The man's words were simple, but they gave her hope that she had long lost. "So what do you propose?" she asked, still unsure what to expect. "Well, let's do this together," Jack said with a smile. "The galaxy is vast, but that doesn't mean it can break you. We could visit all the world alliances that rejected you and show them what you're truly capable of." "And you're willing to travel across the galaxy with me?" she asked, unable to believe it. "Of course," Jack said with a determined look. "But it won't be easy. There will be many trials, and not everyone will accept us. But we'll manage together. You're willing to fight for me against this rejection?" The princess was touched. "For you and your people. Why not?" Jack said, comforting her and patting her on the shoulder. "You have the strength to be great. You just need someone to believe in you. And I believe in you, Princess Vartan." The princess was moved. No one had ever acknowledged her like this. It was almost too good to be true. "All right, let's begin this adventure," she said, standing up. "If you're truly ready, then we'll conquer the galaxy together. Maybe we don't need the support of everyone, but we need each other." And so they began their journey. Jack and Princess Vartan, a human, and a princess who decided to show those who rejected them far more than what was visible on the surface. They visited different planets, fought against evil monarchs, danced at festivals where the stars remained in the background, and conversed with creatures they had never seen before. But no matter how difficult it was, they knew they had each other. The princess not only found a companion, but also someone who valued her for who she was, a strong, capable, and brave leader. Jack felt the same. And soon, they realized that they were destined not only for each other, but for the entire galaxy, which they could change from the very beginning. Who would have thought a human could save the galaxy? Jack laughed as they flew away from another planet where they had just won political negotiations. "I don't know, but maybe we're the answer the galaxy needed," said the princess with a smile. "Maybe we're the combination of heart and mind that was missing here." And so their journey continued, A journey that was meant to change not only the fate of the princess, but also all the people she touched. The journey of Jack and Princess Vartan took unexpected turns after each new encounter, each new trial. It seemed that their bond grew stronger, but the galaxy was not only a place of wonders, it was also a place of chaotic surprises. So, what's the plan for today? Jack asked as they landed on another unknown planet covered in giant neon trees. The planet was known for its extravagant plants and strange gravity dance, a tradition where visitors floated in the weightlessness of the trees as part of a welcoming ceremony. "The plan?" repeated Princess Vartan, looking at him with a mischievous smile. "Well, I thought we could challenge the masters of the gravity dance. They are the best dancers in the entire universe." "Dance?" Jack raised an eyebrow. "I've told you I can dance, but not in this weightless nonsense." "It'll be fun," the princess laughed. "And remember, it's not just about the dance. It's a test. You need to prove yourself as a true diplomat, a fighter, by showing your humor, charm, and fantastic style of movement. And you, a human, have that secret weapon. This is already the best day of my life," Jack muttered, rolling his eyes. "All right, let's go. But if I end up on the floor in a couple of minutes, it's your fault." They soared into the air, where gravity grabbed them and forced them to dance like leaves in the wind. Jack, who hadn't danced more than a classic shuffle at family gatherings, suddenly found himself among a group of floating aliens performing their weightless movements. He tried to keep up, but at first, he was more concerned about not getting tangled than demonstrating elegant steps. "So this is how it works?" he shouted, trying to get into the rhythm. "You just float and hope for the best." The aliens laughed, their wings trembling as their bodies moved in complex patterns that almost made Jack feel dizzy. "You'll see," said the leader of the Gravity Dance Masters, nodding at Jack. "Someday, you'll be the best dancer in the universe." "Ha! I doubt it." Jack smirked and tried to jump, which looked like he was flying in slow motion toward the sky. But before he could accidentally get stuck in one of the trees, the princess grabbed him and spun him into a soft pirouette, bringing him back into the game. "You have talent, Jack," she exclaimed, twirling with him. "You can do anything if you just surrender to the chaos." "I thought that was a dance move," Jack laughed, spinning. "You know what? I'm actually started like this." A group of aliens enthusiastically applauded as Jack finally performed an unexpectedly elegant turn that even impressed the princess. "Maybe you do have a secret after all," she said. "Probably just your humor moving an entire planet," Jack replied with a wink. "Well, you chose the best dance partner. I could do this every day, at least until I crash into a tree." "That will never happen," she promised, and pulled him into a final dance, during which they flew together through the airy treetops, which shone in all the colors of the rainbow. After they completed the dance challenge, they returned to their intergalactic negotiations. However, it was clear that their arrival to the next nations was not only about diplomacy and strategic talks, but also about their ease, humor, and energy, which they spread wherever they went. When they landed on a new planet inhabited by a people resembling humans, the Zia, their meeting was unexpectedly warm. "We've heard of you," said the Zia leader, a man of average height with bright blue eyes. "You're the ones conquering the galaxy with humor and dance, right?" "Well, a bit more than that," Jack said with a wide smile, holding the princess's hand. "But yes, I think humor and dance could be the key to a diplomat's success." "Indeed," the leader said thoughtfully and nodded. "We've heard your message. It's not just about ruling or conquering. It's about celebrating life. We could all use a bit more of that. So, what do you propose? Another dance?" Jack asked, standing up, ready for anything Zia could offer. "A dance, or perhaps a round of intergalactic chocolate cake," laughed the Zia leader. And so, their adventures continued. Jack and Princess Vartan increasingly realized that they didn't just need to wage wars and change planets. Sometimes, humor was what made the difference. Their belief that they could achieve anything if they stayed together grew stronger. The galaxy was full of conflicts and challenges, but who knew how far they could go if they danced the intergalactic dance with a good dose of laughter and hearts full of hope. Their journey was full of surprises, and each new adventure brought them closer in unexpected ways. It was a mix of diplomacy, spaceship management, and, of course, dancing. You know, Jack, I really didn't expect us to conquer the galaxy this way, said the princess as they walked down the sparkling corridor of their ship. But somehow, your humor has brought us to places I never thought possible. Well, if you say so, Jack smirked. I thought humor was only for Earth, but it seems to be universal. I'm really good at making people smile, and if that means I'll be dancing at intergalactic parties, then I'll take it as my job. And you're really good at it, the princess laughed. I must admit, I didn't think dance would be the key to winning the hearts of aliens. See? I knew I had a natural talent for all this intergalactic dance stuff. Maybe in a couple of decades, I'll become a galactic dance legend. Ah, that would be a title that suits you, she said, winking at him. But I must warn you, we're now entering the planet of Safari, famous for its dishes and very, very unusual cuisine. Unusual cuisine? Jack raised an eyebrow. Does that mean I'll be sitting in a room full of live, squirming dishes that will jump at me? Maybe, the princess said with a smile. But don't worry, this time it's the finest cuisine in the entire galaxy. And so, they landed on Safari, a planet covered in floating gardens and colorful mushrooms. The Zafarians, a people of bioluminescent beings, greeted them with a welcoming dance, floating in the air and spreading their glowing roots in all directions. Looks like we'll have to come up with some new dance moves, Jack said, stretching his shoulders as he watched the Zafarians dance in the air. Wait until you see the main course, the princess replied with a smile as they were led into a huge but cozy-looking dining hall. The room was filled with soft light and warm energy, and the air was infused with the aroma of exotic spices. Welcome, guests from distant worlds, exclaimed the Zafarian, his voice sounding like the rustling of leaves in the wind. Prepare for a feast that will delight even the gods of Safari. Ah, that sounds great, Jack said, sitting on one of the floating chairs and mentally preparing for what was to come. I hope you're ready, the princess said, carefully pointing to a plate that suddenly appeared before them. Jack stared at the food, a bunch of tiny, squirming capsules that seemed almost alive, rhythmically twitching on his plate. Is this alive? Jack asked, currently dreaming of a classic meal from home. Yes, the princess said with a smile. But don't worry, they're in a meditative state. It's a Zafarian tradition to eat food that's still alive but perfectly calm. Meditatively ideal, perfect philosophy for an intergalactic feast, Jack said, carefully poking one of the small capsules with a fork. The capsule immediately began to stretch and pulsate as he brought it to his mouth. Are you sure this is okay? He asked with doubt. Try it, the princess exclaimed, already eating a piece of the dish without batting an eye. With a deep breath, Jack took a bite and suddenly, without warning, the capsule exploded with a soft but tangy flavor that nearly knocked him off his feet. That was the fiery surprise, Jack exclaimed, trying to maintain his balance as the capsule dissolved. These capsules don't just make food, they make a show, the princess said, grinning. You see, Zafarian feasts are designed to nourish not only the body, but also the soul. Here's a little secret. You have to truly listen to your inner dance to understand their mysteries. This won't be easy, Jack laughed, but I think this is exactly what the galaxy needs. More dancing people trying to find its cuisine and not falling off their chairs. That's true art, a galactic balance between adventure and a smile, the princess confirmed. And so, as the intergalactic dance of food, humor, and surprises continued, they both knew that there was still a long way to go in conquering the galaxy. But it was a path they would continue with humor and a good sense of mischief. The journey of Jack and Princess Vartan conquered the galaxy in a way no one expected. With a combination of humor, unwavering kindness, and a significant dose of dancing, they had already met many peoples, experienced countless feasts, and made more intergalactic friends than they could count. But on the last plan of their journey, they were about to make an unexpected discovery. Jack, do you see this? Princess Vartan asked, pointing to a huge statue standing in the center of the main square of Safari. It was a statue of a man bathed in golden rays of light. Wait, is that me? Jack blinked. Exactly, the princess said with a grin. It's your statue. The Zafarians have made you a legend. Me? Jack stared at the statue in disbelief. What did I do besides dancing, eating, and accidentally preserving intergalactic peace? You won the hearts of Zephyrians with your humor, bravery, and ability not to take the galaxy too seriously. They call you the Humorous Conqueror. Your actions have inspired them to see life not as a series of battles, but as opportunities for connection and celebration. That sounds almost too good to be true, Jack said, examining the statue. It depicted him in a dance pose, surrounded by glowing plants, a perfect embodiment of his intergalactic adventure. It's true, the princess confirmed, and they've decided to honor you in a special way. You're now the official ambassador of the Zephyrians to the entire galaxy. Wow, an ambassador, Jack said with a smile. You know what this means? More dance parties and more food that suddenly comes to life. What's next? A journey to Pyrolis, perhaps, the princess laughed. But now that you're an intergalactic ambassador, it means you'll be hosting the greatest intergalactic ball the galaxy has ever seen. All the peoples will gather to celebrate. It will be a festival like the galaxy has never seen before. You mean I'll be the DJ at an intergalactic dance party? Jack exclaimed with enthusiasm. This is the best news I've heard in weeks. I was starting to think nothing could top this. You will be. And you've earned your dance floor, my friend, Vartan said, placing a friendly hand on his shoulder. The intergalactic ball was unimaginable. Everywhere in the hall, the most diverse beings danced in the wildest forms and colors. The floor vibrated to the beat of pulsating lights, and Jack stood in the center of the dance floor with a radiant smile that lit up the entire galaxy. So, what's the secret to the perfect dance? Asked the curious Zephyrian. The secret, Jack said, is knowing that you don't have to be perfect. You just have to find joy in the dance, and sometimes throw in a good joke. And so, Jack, the princess, and all the other peoples they had met on their journey danced all night as the stars sparkled above them. They had long realized that true conquest wasn't about strength or glory, but about the ability to spread joy, strengthen bond between peoples, and celebrate life. The galaxy has taught us a lot, Jack finally said as he and Princess Vartan stood on a floating platform at the edge of the dance floor, looking at the gathered peoples. And we've given a lot back to it, the princess replied. But the most important thing is that there's always something new to discover, and sometimes the simplest path there's the most fun. Exactly, Jack agreed, raising a glass in the air. To joy, dance, and all the unexplored corners of the universe. And so, their adventure concluded. Or perhaps it didn't, because in a galaxy as vast as theirs, there was always more to laugh about, learn, and celebrate.